Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. It is July the 3rd. It is Tuesday, and we are here in Dauphin Island, Alabama, and we are on the front porch today.
And it is hot.
Yeah, wicked hot. For sure, it's wicked hot. But we usually do it on the leeward side or the water side, but the wind is pretty fierce on that side. So we're going to grind out the heat, and we're going to sweat it out, and we're going to bring you the latest Wimbledon news, scores and discussions, and update you on our fantasy team head-to-head competition that we do against one another and have done for a long time. And must I reiterate that I've won this thing 4 years in a row.
It's been a rough day at Wimbledon today, at least for me.
I feel like I did pretty good, though. I feel like I did well.
Actually, it's been a rough day for a few champions, past champions.
Yeah, I mean, there were some rough scores, but, you know, I feel pretty good. After yesterday, Dimitrov failing me, I feel pretty good at where I sit for winning my fifth.
Well, I don't think he'll beat me. But, I mean, my men's draw is pretty good. So.
I won't beat me. There's no doubt I'm winning. You got no shot.
Okay.
0 shot. Settle. No shot for you.
All
right, so this is our actual third show of doing current Wimbledon news. We did 28, I think, of pre-Wimbledon discussion, and now we're into the thick of things. So I'm very happy at where I sit on my fantasy team. I just said that, so I'm really pumped about that. So we're going to jump right in to scores, and we're going to start with women because women generally get updated second, at least on normal media stations. So we're going to flip the script on all that, and we're going to start with the women. All right, here we go. Quick shout out to Vlad the Music Box, a loyal viewer that watches all of our shows and has brought out some really, really, really good facts and fact checking. Yesterday, correction. Thank you, Vlad, for mentioning this. I indicated, not her, because she called me out on it after the show. Vlad, by the way, brought the topic up that Wawrinka has 3. This is the men's, obviously. We're going to do the women's to start, but Wawrinka Stan has 3 majors. He's won all the majors but Wimbledon. I said he had won 2. So good, thank you, Vlad, for that, because that's really a big deal to not mention a major of a player like Wawrinka.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. Can you imagine if he wins?
So, and just like Vlad said, he mentioned, hey, if he wins Wimbledon, he gets a career of slams. So, I mean...
It's possible. With Wawrinka, you never know.
Awesome. All right, so shout out to Vlad there. Much appreciation. So, we're going to jump right into the women's, though. Round 1, notable wins and losses. Jumping right in. We had Heather Watson, the British girl that lost to a veteran Flipkins. No big deal for me. I'm sure it was a big deal for Britain, but I didn't have either one going very far.
I mean, Flipkins is a veteran. Sad for Watson, because I remember several years ago, I mean, Great Britain was behind her, and they said she was the next big thing. Better than Konta, they said. You know, but she got injured, and she has never been able to come back to what she did several years ago at Wimbledon.
Yeah, it's like super hot off on my right.
He's sweating already, like he's actually working out, where I have no sweat.
Oh, by the way, we played some... I'm just got my hat. This isn't like Thug Nation or anything, but the sun is beating on my face, and my skin doesn't do too well with the sun. So, anyway, but we played some doubles today, and hey, we had fun, right?
Yeah, well, they played doubles. I coached today.
So she taught the girls on another court, and myself, my 2 sons, and a friend played some doubles today. So had a good time. We beat the competition, so pretty happy about that. Anyway, back into women's. Kazatkina, the 14 seed, won today. She cruised.
Yes, I have her in my draw. I expected her to win. I mean, she has a great chance now with a couple of players that we're going to mention that lost.
Moving forward, the 27 seed, Carla, as her name, Suarez Navarro, Spanish like her, but not from the same portion of the...
Spaniard.
Yeah,
so
Spaniard versus, Honduras, okay.
It's different.
Either way, Spanish speaking, how about that? Won today, beautiful one-handed backhand. I don't know how much further she'll get, but hey, go Suarez Navarro.
Well, good for her. I mean, she's got the game for this surface. I didn't watch her match.
Good for Suarez Navarro, veteran, like her game a lot. Okay? Had a lot of hope for her for a lot of years, just haven't seen it. She's been hanging around, though.
Yeah, she has.
All right, moving forward, the number 12 seed, Ostapenko, who I almost picked for my fantasy team, who has won a French Open. I think she's gotten to the 4th round or quarterfinals here once. cruised over another British girl, Dunn. It looks like these British girls are starting to fall a little bit.
Yeah, there was a lot of promise for them. I mean, some are veterans and some are youngsters. I mean, it is also, we are playing the tournament at Wimbledon, which is in, where is Wimbledon at?
It's in London.
It's in London. So they're representing their country, and they're giving lots of wild cards. They give lots of wild cards to their players.
Well, hey, good job to show up and good job to fight. Unfortunately, the loss, but hey, better luck next year at Wimbledon. Moving forward, Mertens, the 15 seed, beats the U.S. player Collins, who I think played college at Virginia.
Yes, she did.
And who else played at Virginia? No. I was thinking Davenport, but I think she went to Florida or something.
I'm not sure where Davenport played, but yeah, she got smoked today.
So yeah, she got pounded by Mertens, but hey, good for Collins. She usually fights, so I didn't get to see the match. It wasn't covered. We did see the scores. So hey, keep fighting, Collins. Hey, good job to get here, and better luck next year. And good job, Mertens, for making the second round. First time loss, big upset at least for me, was Sharapova. Maria Sharapova loses for the first time at Wimbledon in the first round to a Russian player who seems like a really solid player, named Diachenko, Russian player.
She's 27 years old, so she's been on the tour before. She's played big top players. Great win for her. Sharapova double faulted on match point. She looked really lost out there. And I almost think she should have never opened her mouth about Serena in that book. Ever since that came out, it seems like she's just been losing. It's almost like karma for her.
So you think it's like a karma thing?
Yeah, she should have never said that, oh, I beat Serena, and she was crying in the locker. She should have kept her mouth shut. It's like, now everything's just going bad for her. She just didn't look good out there.
Yeah, I can't get into the whole necessarily karma thing per se. However, I haven't read this book, and I think we've heard about this book, and I think there has been some trash talk, as there's always trash talk in sports and people writing books and memoirs and so forth. But yeah, I can't disagree with the karma type loss, but at the same time, she just looked like she wasn't ready. She looks like she just was not prepared.
Yeah, and she blew my bracket, so
oh yeah,
pretty upset about that too.
So yeah, we'll get into that. But so yesterday I lost Dimitrov out of day one of my top players, and I moved myself back ahead of her in contention after yesterday. But we'll get into that. So Osaka beats Nicolescu, a veteran. Good job, Osaka. Keep working. But remember, you cannot call your coach out to the sidelines at Wimbledon.
Oh, leave her alone with that. I mean, that's the past. This is a Grand Slam tournament. I'm sure she's mature by that, by this time now.
We'll see. All right, moving forward, Garcia, the number 6 seed. I think she's a French girl with Garcia as the last name. Interesting twist there. But she lost to Bencic, who's been a veteran for a while. She is a, correct me if I'm wrong, a Swiss? No, she's from Switzerland, right?
I don't think she's from Switzerland. No, I thought she was either Croatian
I'm
or
willing to...
Ukrainian, but she dates Wawrinka.
No, that's Vekic.
Oh, who is this one?
This is Bencic.
Oh, this.
Bencic. Bencic. She's a Swiss player. I know that for a fact.
Oh, you're talking about Bencic, the one that Federer's camp was helping her out.
A little bit, I think.
Yeah, they were helping her out in the first tournament. She's come back from injury, actually.
Yeah,
she's young. So.
Yeah, she's an unseeded Swiss player. That I do know.
She's good.
And there's another Swiss player, Basinski, by the way, that withdrew from the tournament as she was about to face, I think, Alison Risk or something like that.
Yes, correct.
So Basinski and Bencic were the two Swiss girls that were kind of popping on the scene a little while. I think Basinski had gone deep maybe at the U.S. Open or French, if not both. And I think Bencic had done some training maybe with some of the Federer type crew. Maybe not. I may have that.
No, I remember them. I remember even Federer's parents were there for her first match at the Australian Open. They were actually her camp, not Federer. They were helping her out a bit. I mean, she's coming back from injury. She has a promising career.
All right. Well, sorry, I was just checking the camera, as I always have to do. So today, the U.S. player Risk, Alison Risk, I think is her name. She cruised through. She's been a formidable opponent on grass, and it looks like she's continuing to be a formidable opponent.
Good for her. She's a veteran. I mean, I think Risk is around 26, 27 years old. So
yeah.
Good win for USA.
All right, so Halep jumps into action today and cruises over Nara, the Japanese player. No surprise for me here. I think the road gets tougher for Halep in every round, and we'll see if her short, compact size can keep up with the grass.
I didn't get to watch her match, which is a bummer. I had things to do, but I'm glad that she cruised through it. She got, whatever butterflies she had in her stomach. You know, usually ranked players don't like losing in the first round, so good for her.
Good for her. All right, so Kenin, who is a U.S. player, but AKA I think her heritage is distinctly.
She was born in Russia.
Distinctly Russian, born there. So I'm gonna say Kenin U.S. AKA Russia, and we're gonna do another video one day and we're gonna figure out variables or some way where we can try to make this not just an opinionated show, but we're working on that. American players versus the rest of the world, and how they correlate over time, and who is trajecting to be, I guess, a long time on the world stage. So we're going to come up with variables and come up with that. But it's nice to have Vekic playing for the U.S., but I think inherently she's Russian.
Who, Kenin?
Kenin. Sorry, Kenin. Yes, Kenin. I think I said Vekic, but
yes.
Kenin. I have Vekic coming up. So she won in 3 sets today. Good for her and good for Russia to your heritage. I think that's important.
And she's 19 years old, so
19.
I mean, she decided to turn pro, I think, last year. So good for her.
Yeah. So we had a girl named, I have not seen this girl. I've heard the name, Townsend. She's a U.S. player. She won today, actually won straight through, I think in straight sets from what I gathered. So good for her, another U.S. player that's winning a match.
I've seen Townsend play, and she was an up-and-coming junior many years ago. Perhaps she started working on her fitness. She was one of those type of players that she had a hard time playing these long matches. So I was surprised to see her win, and I'm glad that she won.
All right, I'm taking my hat to the side to get the sun off my ear. So pardon my goofiness and my dollar store glasses. So don't laugh at me too much, but I'm hot. All right, so we had Kvitova, Petra Kvitova. Went down in 3 sets today, and more importantly, she was bageled in the 3rd set. Now, on top of that, Carla had Kvitova on her fantasy team. I did too, but I did not have her going to the finals, and nor did I have her winning it. She had both. So, Carla, would you like to comment on Kvitova's performance today?
I think we're all stunned that she lost. I'm sure a lot of commentators have picked her. All my kids have picked her. I am surprised that she lost to this girl. I mean, she wasn't playing as aggressive as she usually plays. She was shanking a lot of forehands, and it almost looked like she gave up on that last set. It really did. That girl shouldn't have. She didn't blow her off the court. It was mistakes that Kvitova was making.
Yeah, I saw a lot of errors from Sasnovich. We watched this match. Tip your hat, though, to Sasnovich for winning, because you brought me back. You brought me back on my fantasy team. I'm happy about that. Really happy about that. Let's go. So, because she lost Kvitova today as a finalist and as a winner, that negated my Dimitrov loss yesterday and moves me back into the #1 position to win my 5th straight Wimbledon. Let's go.
I don't know what was going through her head. I don't know. I don't get it.
Bad loss here. She'll be fine. Kvitova's been through a lot. She got stabbed, I think.
With a hand on her foot.
I mean, wow. To be at this point right now, good for Kvitova. She'll be back. We'll see her again. I think she's won 2 Wimbledons.
She has right? 2 Wimbledons. Yes, you're right.
So for her to go down was hurtful. But by the way, this girl Sasnovich, she's from Belarus. We've been talking about a girl, Sabalenka, from Belarus, and we have talked about Azarenka, obviously, from Belarus. And now we have Sasnovich from Belarus. All of being top players at the top, so good for Belarus, small little country, little thing, putting out dominant women players. Dominant.
Again, I didn't think this girl should have. I mean, if you look at it in paper, if you look at the match, you can see that Kvitova was not playing like she usually plays. She was making a lot of mistakes. I mean, even the shot selections were not good today. The serve was off. I don't know.
So she's depressed about that because that put Dad back in the #1 spot. That's what I'm talking about. Loved it. So even though I had her, it's not that big of a deal for me she lost because I don't have her in my final. Not only did she have her in her final, but she had her winning the whole thing. So
yes,
that just spared me big as long as my players come through tomorrow. All right, moving forward, Bouchard, Eugenie, another one of my picks. She made a final here in 2014. She won today, and she is on my team again pushing forward.
Well, she did have to go to 3 sets. Who did she play?
A British girl, Taylor.
Another Brit. I mean, good for Bouchard. I mean, you want her to win. I mean, you want to see a comeback story.
Yeah, go Bouchard. You're on my team, and you're my unseeded player. So if you happen to win this tournament, I think you had some guy like text you a prom date or something, and like you went and you lived happily ever after. If you win this, I will come bait hooks over here because she's like my whole deal. Like, she's like my whole everything. But look, you can come fish off my back porch, and I'll bait your hooks. If you win this tournament, I swear. All right, come on. You can catch redfish off the back porch. You'll catch some. Let's go, Bouchard. You're on my team. Don't forget that. All right, so we had an American player, Brady, that was a U.S. player that won in 3 sets. So another U.S. player goes through.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad these American women are starting to make some noise. You know, that's good because the men sometimes don't make as much noise. So go USA.
Let's go, Brady. Kerber beat the veteran Zvonareva today in straight sets. Hey, good job, Kerber, but at the same time, come on, Zvonareva, good for you to be around, to hanging around. Hey, let's see you at the hard court season, right? Come on, Vera. I'm rooting for her.
I'm happy Kerber won. I have her in my draw.
And I'm a big Vera fan, so good for both of you.
Definitely.
I mean,
they said it seems like she was happier now more than ever because before she would cry a lot, throw herself on the court. Vera, she was very dramatic back in the days. I mean, she would slam rackets. She would yell at her camp, you know. So good for her.
Yeah, I hate to have my hat pointed this way, but that sun is it's killing me. So my thought on Vera is, I mean, good for you. We saw some highlights. You look good. You look happy. And Kerber, good for you too. I think both of them held the game.
Yes.
So
it was a good close match.
Good match. So Kontaveit, who we've talked about Kontaveit off and on for many years. Kontaveit wins today. And by the way, Kontaveit would have been a great fantasy team pick for anybody. We looked at her. We talked about her. Good win for her. She wins today. I have an arrow, so that means she cruised. So Kontaveit, strong player. She cruises through to the next round. All right, so Muguruza today beat another British player, Brody, B-R-O-A-D-Y, Brody, who has, by the way, a nice one-handed backhand. Nice to see. If I'm coaching Brody, though, and I see a one-handed backhand, and as you're about to hit it, so the ball is coming to you, get in the ready position. I like the 90 degrees at the elbow and here at the racket. But once you release and you get to that point of impact, it's good to kind of let that wrist kind of snap, like you're just like smacking somebody, like pop. So when I let mine go, I get it, and right at that point of impact, I break and give that ball that spin and drive through it. She drives through it, but it seems like at the last minute she like hits it and then kind of hacks away. And maybe I misread that, and maybe I'm describing it wrong, but her backhand seemed, it was pretty to watch, but right at that point of contact, it just seemed off. I think there should be some tweaking there. And then before you cut in, her volleys at the net. When I coach volleys, we're going to go out and meet that ball. We're going to go out and meet it. We're not going to let that ball bully our racket back or bully our wrist to snap, and we're going to go out and meet it. We're not going to go, oh, and let our wrist snap back, or oh, let our wrist snap, because it leads to dumping it in the net or shanking it wide or shooting it over the fence. I saw a lot of these wrist break volleys. Hit it, boom, and the wrist would break back. So I think she needs to work on putting those volleys down, and she needs to work on snapping that back slap on that backhand.
Honestly, why Muguruza had trouble with her is beyond me. Her game was not that strong. I saw the one-handed backhand, which I thought, okay, that's nice to see because you don't get to see many players, female players, with a one-handed backhand. But it seemed to me like she couldn't hit that one-handed backhand with enough power. She kind of like guided the ball. It's because she never stepped into it. She never put her body into the shot. It was more like arm.
It was like,
so it wasn't strong. It wasn't a strong shot. It was a weak shot, which Muguruza should have attacked more.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like when she hit it, it was more like she was hitting it, she's leaning into the ball, her footwork was there, and then right at the point impact where she should have transferred momentum forward, I felt like she transferred it, and then it kind of became into a shock-absorbing shot.
It was just almost like a push. It was weak. She was better. That's why she sliced it a lot. It's a weak backhand, and she's not going to get far in tennis if she keeps playing that way.
Yeah,
sorry.
Coach.
She was on center court. That's why.
Yeah,
the crowd was loud. Sorry.
Yeah, coaches got to work on that one. All right, so Konta, the number 22 seed, wins in straight sets, tight sets. The British player. Go Konta, I'm rooting for you.
Well, I have her in my draw, and of course I want her to keep winning.
Okay, this is an interesting match, actually. The number 26 seed, Gavrilova, defeated an American player, Dolhide, who was a lucky loser after, I think it was Basinski.
Yes, correct.
That pulled out the Swiss player that we were just talking about. So, I'm sorry that Dolhide lost. Lucky that she got there into the first place.
Well, I don't know if it was Basinski. Basinski could have been with Risk, honestly. I think
Risk won today.
Yes, but Risk somebody pulled out too with her.
Oh,
I think it was
right.
Basinski for her.
Okay.
I'm not sure who
I may have
pulled
that
out.
wrong.
It was Diaz, something like that. That pulled out D-I-Y.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's a Spanish player or something. Yeah.
I'm not sure she was Spanish, but yeah, bummer for the American. The American that she lost to is 19 years old. Needs to work on her fitness a bit more.
Yeah, I wanted to remain mute upon that because it's really a tough grind to stay fit in the world in which we live, at least in the USA for a lot of people. It looked like Dolhide was a little out of shape, if not a lot out of shape, so hopefully she can get fit because the type of conditioning that's needed for these type of tournaments is a lot more than what I saw. No disrespect. But
well, good for the 19-year-old to get a chance to play, in the main draw. I mean, she probably wasn't expecting that. She lost in the qualifiers, right? So
yeah, so good for Dolhide to be there. Let's work on fitness. And glad you made it. Gavrilova is a solid player, and I think she deserved the win either way. So good for you. Hope to see you soon. Subulkova, the 32, or that should have been the 32 seed. We got into that on a previous video about, of course, Serena getting the seeding. Not that she didn't deserve it, and that bumped Subulkova to a non-seeded position. However, she beat Alice Cornet today pretty much handily. So good job for Subulkova.
Good job, Subulkova. Yes,
hey,
definitely.
you got kind of the bad end of the deal, but remember that Serena got that seeding because she really deserves it. I mean, let's be real. But you got through the first round and you deserve that. So good for you, Subulkova, for winning. I think she's made a final somewhere before. Didn't Lina beat Subulkova in the final?
Yes, we did see that. We did see that. I'm not sure if it was at the French or the Australian.
Yeah, I think Lina beat Subulkova at the Australian Open final. And if it wasn't for Vlad the Music Box, who got us looking at whether Wawrinka won this or that, I think the same year. I don't know if it's the same year.
No, I don't know that it was the same year.
I don't want to state any more not true facts, but we were looking into the Wawrinka dilemma about how many majors he won thanks to Vlad Music Box, and we stumbled across Lina beating Subulkova at the Australian Open final.
Right.
All right, so my girl Stozier, who I said could have been my unseeded player, I should have picked her, but my unseeded player Bouchard is still alive, so I'm okay. Beat Shui Ping, the Chinese player, I think.
Yeah, she was.
And straight sets.
Shui Ping was at the top, just like Stozier was many years ago. So good win for her.
And lastly, of the notable match completions today would be another U.S. player, Liu, L-I-U. I haven't seen her play. I've heard the name, but never seen her play. 1 in 3 sets today. Another U.S. player through. Good job. Right?
Well, all these American players have been. It seems like a lot of women won today, so good for them.
All right, so quick camera check again. So we're going to move into the notable women's matches for tomorrow. I think we're approaching the 23-minute mark. That's what I just saw on the camera. So we're going to try to speed through this so we can get it under our 33-minute kind of time frame. And we'll do men's on the second part.
You look like you're in the sauna right now.
And I'm ready. Ready. Let's go.
I feel like I'm in a sauna or something.
Yeah, but you got that dark skin.
Yeah.
See? You know what I'm saying? But hey, I love this. Let's go. All right, so Madison Keys tomorrow, the number 10 seed, plays a Thailandese girl named Kunchun. K-U-N-K-H-U-N. Good for you, Kunchun, to be in the second round of Wimbledon. Furthermore, I think there's a soccer team that's trapped in some caves in Thailand, and please, I hope with all the positive energy I have in my whole being that all of these kids come out very safely. So look, I love Madison Keys, and I hope that you win, Madison Keys, but at the same time, this girl Kunchun, I would love to see the Cinderella story of this girl winning for her country with these kids trapped in this cave. Wouldn't that be an amazing storyline?
It would be, but I still want to see Madison Keys win. She represents the USA, and gee, she needs a Grand Slam winner. She has Lindsay Davenport as her coach. Why not?
Yeah, great
And
coach.
she's got the game for it.
Yeah, Lindsay, great coach, and good luck to both of you. I'd love to see this match. A Romanian girl, Bouchard takes on a British girl, Swan. I don't have either going deep. We talked about Bouchard. She's Romanian, and does she coach with Halep at all, or her crew? But I don't want to dwell too much on this match.
I have no clue still. I have yet to see her play.
Big match tomorrow. Carolina Pliskova, the 7th seed, takes on Victoria Azarenka. I personally think Pliskova wins this match only because Azarenka still looks a little too thin versus her vintage self to the current self. So because I don't think she quite mentally knows what self she wants to be, vintage or current, she's still trying to figure that out. And everything going on in her private life, I think that I'll go with Pliskova here.
Well, she did say in her interview in her first round win that it's tough to get back to the top. But she actually looked better, Justin. She's actually gained some weight. So she looks a lot better. Azarenka has a good chance of upsetting Pliskova. I mean, Pliskova has not been playing the way she played last year. I'm going for an upset here.
Okay, I'm going to take Pliskova. She's going to take Azarenka. I like both players a lot. If I only had one wish in women's tennis, it would be just for Azarenka to tone down the shriek.
But isn't that all women's tennis? I mean, that's all you hear today when you turn on the channel. Muguruza, Sharapova, the girl she played against, they all shriek.
Well, Azarenka has the high-pitched shriek that like wants to beat your eardrum out, and Sharapova has this kind of like a mellow, long, deafening, really awful screech. So both of them combined, if you had Sharapova's screech and combined it with Azarenka's screech, and mixed them into some soundboard and released it upon the masses, everybody would be just whacked out.
Well, you just mute it. A lot of times we watch the matches and we mute it.
Who needs it? Awful. All right, Venus Williams plays Dolgaroo tomorrow. I have Venus on my team. I think she sails.
Venus, she should win tomorrow. Yes, no problem.
20 seed Bertens faces Blinkova. I haven't heard of Blinkova. Bertens has been around a while. Irrelevant for me going into the second week.
I haven't either. I haven't seen them play.
Big match tomorrow for me. Tomorrow, Razwanska, the number 32 seed, plays Safarova, Maddox Sands' doubles partner, and also the Safarova that Carla has.
Why is it a big match for you?
Because if Safarova loses, then that just one-ups me more on the fantasy team.
I have a feeling that you'll see an upset tomorrow. Safarova will beat Radwanska, no problem. She's aggressive. She can hit. She's a lefty. Radwanska will have problems with her.
No shot. Razwanska's going to beat her 2-2.
She almost lost the first round. Radwanska almost lost that first round. Let's be real. She was playing somebody that we never heard of in tennis. She'll lose tomorrow.
Razwanska's going to win 2-2, 2-2, maybe 2-0, maybe 2-1. And I'm going to come back and we're going to do our video
If she was Serena, I would agree with you, but she's not.
Look, Razwanska is going to just absolutely annihilate Safarova.
I doubt it.
All right, she needs Safarova. Much respect to you, but you should focus on doubles. Wozniacki against Makarova tomorrow. Another tight match, but Wozniacki should sail through it.
I don't think she'll sail through it. Makarova is actually really good at grass. I mean, she's gone deep into a lot of Grand Slams. She'll have a good test. That's a good test for her.
All right, camera check. Sorry for the up. I'm just mentioning this, not a big deal. It's just a 13 seed. Julia Georges plays Lapko tomorrow. I haven't heard of Lapko. Maybe seen the name, I don't recall. But she's seeded 13. Again, I don't have either going deep into this tournament.
I think Georges is a veteran, so good for her if she wins tomorrow.
All right, so Serena Williams plays someone I've never heard of for sure from Bulgaria, and that's someone by the name of Tomova. I think Serena cruises here.
I hope so, because I have her going to the finals.
I have Serena going to the finals and then losing to Muguruza. All right, Strykova, the 23 seed. I have Strykova in my fantasy team. Plays a good player in Sarenko. Sarenko's been around a while. We've seen her play many times. Honestly, I picked Strykova, and I don't know her game terribly well, except the match I saw the other day and a couple last week. Sarenko, though, I've seen play a lot. So I'm a little iffy about that, but I really need this win.
Well, you know who I'm pulling for. So.
Yeah, she's going to pull for Sarenko because she needs the loss. But I think Strykova should win here. Let's be real.
She should, but I'm going to definitely be watching that match and hoping that, well, I don't want to hope that anybody loses. I mean, just because I don't have them in my bracket and you do. But Strykova should win that match.
Yeah, all right. A few more matches running out of time. So Petkovic, Andrea Petkovic, longtime fan I have been. she usually doesn't like me to be a fan because I used to be like really.
No, I really don't care.
Well, she did the whole dance, you know?
I think she's a great player, honestly.
But she did the whole dance, and I used to be like, ooh, look at Pekovic. She used to be like, you better stop looking at her.
That's not true.
Oh, yeah,
That's
she
not
did.
True.
She did.
Pekovic is actually a very fit, solid player who
You didn't say that before.
I thought was going to make a lot of noise for
Oh, wait a
Germany.
minute. No, hold on. So you're going to tell me you never got mad at me for looking at Pekovic dance?
Never.
What?
We weren't together at that time, so no.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
I'm talking way post-married years.
Oh, I don't remember this.
See, Venus, Mars, don't remember that.
I don't remember
I
that.
couldn't even turn on
I
Pekovic.
thought this was about Roos. You talk
Man.
about.
Well, Aranza Roos was fit, but I was a Pekovic fan more so.
Well, I'm a Pekovic fan. Plus, one of our kids picked her as the Ancita player.
All right, enough
So
of
I
that.
hope she wins tomorrow.
All right, 3 more matches. We got about 2 minutes. So Peterson, a Swedish girl, plays Vekic, Wawrinka's girlfriend tomorrow. So hey, I'm gonna pull for Vekic because we've been talking about her.
Same here.
And maybe Wawrinka and Vekic can both win the whole thing. Bringle, U.S. player. I mentioned her just because she's U.S. Plays Camilla Giorgi. A lot of drama. We've talked about her with Giorgi. Irrelevant for the future in this
I hope the
tournament.
American wins.
And the German girl, T. Maria, the unseeded girl, plays Milanovic, who is TM's girlfriend. So we have Wawrinka's girlfriend and TM's girlfriend, and TM got trounced today and then retired. But hey, if we got 2 girlfriends playing, neither I don't think will win this tournament. Fantasy team updates because we're running out of time. Myself, I lost Kvitova today, so I am down Sloane Stevens, but my final is still intact, and I'm down Kvitova. So I'm down 2 women. Carla lost Kvitova, Sharapova, and Stevens, as well as one of her finalist picks, as well as her finals winner. Jonathan lost Stevens. That's my other son. My 16-year-old son lost Stevens, Kvitova, and Savitsova, and lost Stevens in the final, but his finalist winner, I think, is still Muguruza, so he still has his winner intact. My other son, Jonathan, Chris, I have another son, Justin, too, and then 2 daughters, but so there's 5 kids, hence the name 5K Tennis. Chris lost Kvitova, Sloane Stevens, and Sharapova. Lost Kvitova, one of his finalists, and Kvitova as the winner. So
It hurts. It hurts all of us.
So with that said, Dad's moved back into number 1. I'm happy about it. Hey, Vivek, no feelings lost on Dimitrov. I made up for it. Click a like below, subscribe below. We're running out of time, and stay tuned for part 2, which is the men's, which is coming up next. And as always, this beautiful, muy bonita mamacita of 5 niños.
Wow, you learned that?
See, she doesn't think I'm learning. I'm learning. So, as always, she says,
Adios.
see you later. Take care.
And it's hot.
It's hot. Really hot. I'm like wetter than a sponge.